Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to a quick video for you guys where I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and opinions about comparing my Pixel Watch 3, which I am currently wearing, to the OG Pixel Watch 1, which was gifted by the community and is currently in retirement. Now, I may wear this from time to time just for nostalgic purposes, but probably not too much, just because they are so similar as far as like design and feel. There are some subtle differences between them, and I will go over the specifications between both watches, just for the hell of it. For some of you guys who may not know the specs differences, I'll share that with you guys. But ultimately, there's one thing in the comparison between these two watches that is absolutely crazy, that makes the Pixel Watch 1 show that there was advanced improvements on a lot of things when it comes to the Watch 1. So stay tuned all the way through this video, and if you guys enjoyed what I had to say in this video, smash the like button. I would truly appreciate that, as well as turning on bell notifications if you just subscribed, and also hype the video up so other people can find it. I'm not your everyday business tech reviewer. I'm just a guy that likes tech and likes talking about it and hopes that people will listen, so then that way I don't have to bore my family with all my tech talk and whatnot. But anyways, let's get into the specifications between these two watches so you guys understand the differences between them before I go forward and explaining my experiences, because that is key here. So anyways, I'm just going to refer to them as Watch 3 and Watch 1 instead of having to say their entire name. But the Watch 1 only comes in one size, that's a 41mm size. The Watch 3 comes in two sizes. It was actually the generation that introduced two sizes, 41mm and 45mm. So there you have it. You can have a flat screen on your wrist if you want one. But on top of that, the Watch 3 has a Snapdragon W5 Plus processor with a Cortex M33 coprocessor, and the Watch 1 has a Exynos 9110 with the Cortex M33 coprocessor. Watch 3 has a 307 mAh battery for the 41mm, and then a 420 mAh battery for the 45mm. So quite a bigger battery on the larger size. 294 milliamps on the Watch 1. The Watch 3 has a display brightness of up to 2000 nits. And the Watch 1 doesn't really have that bright of a display, so in sunlight it's kind of hard to see things on your watch. I know this from when I go hiking and stuff like that. You got health sensors on both of them: optical heart rate, multi-purpose electrical blood oxygen, continuous EDA, and skin temperature, etc. on the Watch 3. On the Watch 1 you get the optical heart rate monitor, you get the multi-purpose electrical blood oxygen readings, etc. So a little bit more health readings with the Watch 3, which is nice. The Watch 3 gets Wear OS 6. The Watch 1 ends on Wear OS 5. Both have 2 gigs of RAM, both have 32 gigs of internal storage. The Watch 3 is build material is aluminum, and for the Watch 1 it's recycled stainless steel. IP68 water and dust resistance on the Watch 3, and 5 ATM splash resistance on the Watch 1. And so, just so you guys know, the key takeaways of all this basically is that the Watch 3 has a larger model, has a brighter display at 2000 nits, and which makes it easier to read in the sunlight. As far as for the processor and battery, the Watch 3 again has the Snapdragon W5 chip compared to the Exynos in the Watch 1. And then of course you have 302 milliamp hour battery versus 294, so closely in battery size. So that resonates with the battery life, which is one of the first things I want to talk about when comparing these two watches, is the battery life. And I can tell you guys, 302 on my Pixel Watch 3 and 294 on the Pixel Watch 1. But the crazy thing about it is that the Watch 1 had very poor battery life when it was first released. Had very poor battery life. I would find myself charging it twice a day. I would take it off the charger at 6 in the morning, and the battery would be very low by 3 in the afternoon, after taking at least 2 or 3 phone calls from the watch itself and just kind of messing around with it. So like the way that I would get longer battery life with the Watch 1 was turning off always on display and turning off sensors that would awake the screen. So the only way you would wake the screen is by hitting the crown button to wake the screen up. Tapping the display, I wouldn't have that on, because the accidental taps would awaken the screen for a little bit and then it would dim out. Now with my Pixel Watch 3, I choose not to have always on display on, but I did run it with always on display on. And with always on display, if I took it off the charger at 6 in the morning when I wake up, then it would be down to 18% by 9 p.m. And I would throw it on the charger. So I wouldn't be able to track sleep. Now, with always on display turned off and motion sensor turned off, where only tapping the display would wake the screen, and I would be able to prolong the battery to go almost 2 days on the single charge. I know that sounds crazy, right? That's getting notifications. That's not taking any phone calls on the watch, but it's, you know, getting notifications, getting reminders, you know, to stand up and walk around and stuff like that. When you work remote from home, you kind of forget to get off your desk and just walk around and get some exercise. So it gives me the reminders of that. And then of course, you know, checking the time and all that other stuff. So that's a good thing, because I do like to track my sleep to see what type of sleep I'm getting, and it's able to give me that. The Pixel Watch 1, the only way I was able to get sleep tracking done is if I was charging it midday. So if I went and started charging it from low battery to 100% at like 12 noon and then wear the watch, I can wear it to bed, track my sleep. By morning, it would be very low battery, and then I would have to like throw it on a charger again. So the point that I'm making is, while the battery experience with the Pixel Watch 1 seems to be, you know, like wow, who wants to deal with that? Compared to what it was when it first launched, where I was having to charge this twice a day, I wouldn't even think about wanting to track my sleep with the Pixel Watch 1, just because of how many times I'd have to charge it. That I'm figuring that it would probably die in the middle of my sleep. I'd wake up with a dead watch on my wrist and, you know, no sleep data to track. And so that's also the reason that I wanted to upgrade to a much newer Pixel Watch, not the Pixel Watch 4, which is currently out. And like I said, the reason I went for the 3 was because I got it at $75, which in my opinion was a hell of a deal. You know, yeah, they're smartwatches and they do a lot of things, including health tracking and stuff like that. But at the same time too, I really don't feel like they're worth the price point that they're being released at. If it's $150, maybe at max $200, that's fine. But like, you know, for the LTE models, and you know, they're like almost $500. That's crazy. You can get a really good mid-range smartphone for that price. I'm just saying. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, I'll find it on deal. And so the Pixel Watch 3 is not obsolete. It's got a couple more years of support left. And by then, the Pixel Watch, you know, 7 should be out when I'm ready to upgrade again. And I'll go to that. As far as like the body build, I can say this. One thing I do like about the Pixel Watch 3, it's light on my wrist. It's not heavy. So like, while a lot of people with smartphones would chase something that's like titanium build for durability and security, in this instance, I would rather have something lighter. The stainless steel body feels really good on my wrist. I don't mind it at all whatsoever, but it has some weight to it, a slight amount of weight. And the crazy thing about that is, it's not so much of like it weighing my wrist down. I mean, that is a nuisance. But also, like, if I was to, like, you know, swing my arm playfully or whatever, that much weight on the watch crashing into the wall without a casing or screen protector, and you're doomed to crack it, which is a problem, because there's not really a good way to repair the Pixel Watch 1 if you damage the watch. So I do my best to make sure that nothing happens to it, because I don't want to like scrap this one. This one was given to me by you guys. So I don't want to have it damaged or anything like that, and I sure as hell don't want to pay a high amount of dollars just to repair it, because it's sentimental to me. It means something to me. So yeah, that's the other reason I retired it too, is because I was afraid it was going to get damaged eventually. Something like this getting damaged, it's like, okay, well, it'll give me a reason to upgrade to the Pixel Watch 4, you know, when a bunch of them are out there probably being sold at a cheaper price, and I can just pick up a Pixel Watch 4 or 5 if by the time this does take damage, the 5 has already released, then I'll get the Pixel Watch 5. Though I do keep a case on it to protect it. The case is a built bumper that covers the complete body of the smartwatch, and a screen protector on it, so it protects it. And you know what, like, it's cool to know that if I go swimming or whatever, it'll be fine. IP68 water and dust resistance. For everyone out there, do not take this in salt water. Salt water eats that protective layer that protects against water, and so you'll definitely catch water damage. So this is not something that I would say go in the ocean and swim with. But no swimming pool that's not heavy, that's not, you know, heavily saturated with chlorine, I guess would be okay. Sad enough case point is also the chargers too. The chargers obviously are very different. The Pixel Watch 3's charger has 4 metal prongs that connect to the back of the watch that charges it, and probably charges it faster. It's probably why it has faster charging than the Pixel Watch 1. Pixel Watch 1 is just a flat surface hockey puck that magnetically sticks to the back of the watch. Downside is the way that these chargers are built. Obviously, you know, the Pixel Watch 1 is gonna have what I consider, like, you know, the best foot forward strategy. So the charging cable and puck, it feels like it's built with a more durable, sturdy, you know, material and design. As the, you know, Pixel Watch 3's charger, it feels cheaper and light, which could be a good thing too, because you don't want, like, you know, like heavy cables in your backpack or whatever. So, but I feel like that, you know, I have to be very careful with that cord. That cord just feels like that if I even just bend it and creased it, it would disrupt the insulated cable inside of it and cause it to not charge properly. So this is probably one thing that I would be more worried about, is taking my watch on like on vacation with that charger. I'll probably just buy an additional charger that I'll use for when I leave the house and go on vacation anywhere, and then keep this one at home. The displays, obviously, I do see a difference in them, and brightness levels and whatnot obviously are different. You know, but you know, for the most part too, when people talk about the bezels, of course the bezels are smaller on the Pixel Watch 3, so there's more screen real estate compared to the Pixel Watch 1. I definitely see that. So it's, you know, just one of those things where it's like, of course, you know, that should happen, because it should be a step up from the previous generation. However, what it does show me in everything is that the Pixel Watch 1 was pretty good, so good that not too much changed in 2 generations newer, right? So the Pixel Watch 2 and the Pixel Watch 3, they didn't do anything drastically different, because the original worked. It's just some specifications needed to be beefed up in order to, you know, for people to enjoy the experiences with them. I.e., the biggest one that everyone complained about is battery, and I think they did a pretty decent job with the battery on the Watch 3s, and I think they did an even better job on the Watch 4s, which it should be that way because that's the latest watch out. But for the most part, anyone that decides to go for a Watch 3 to save some money, you'll be pleasantly surprised and happy with, you know, what it's able to do and perform. So keep that in mind. But yeah, that's just my thoughts between the Pixel Watch 3 and the Pixel Watch 1. What I think of being someone that uses it on a day-to-day basis. So if you guys have any other questions, comments, concerns, emotional outbursts, drop them in the comment section of the video. And again, hit that like button because it absolutely helps me out. And if it gives you the option to hype the video, could you guys do me that favor? I would love to be on the leaderboard at a very, you know, mid-level position on that leaderboard. It's wishful thinking, but you know what? I mean, I love doing this. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Law.